the movies, now you get to experience the horror.
Universal Halloween Horror Nights.
What's up, Megacon? Oh my goodness, this is a lot of people. Welcome everyone to Halloween Horror Nights 35th anniversary panel. Can we make some noise for 35? My name is Liam Crowley. I come from Screen Rants by way of New York City, and I'm your host for this evening. Halloween Horror Nights 35 is way more than just another milestone here. It is a celebration of decades of storytelling, innovation, and unforgettable nightmares. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the creative process on what makes Halloween Horror Nights so special. From the first spark of an idea to the final spine-tingling scare. We're going to reveal how haunted houses, scare zones, and iconic characters have evolved year after year, and why this legendary event continues to captivate audiences worldwide to this day. And we're going to have a few special surprises along the way.
Oh yeah!
I'm not alone on this panel. Let's meet some of the masterminds who make Halloween Horror Nights so special. First up, Mr. Mike Aiello. Next, the one and only Miss Lora Sauls. And finally, make some noise for Mr. Charles Gray.
Oh my gosh! We filled the room almost! I can't believe it!
This is a packed house, guys.
It's amazing!
I think Halloween Horror Nights 35 is going to be pretty special.
Oh God, who knows?
Before we get into the deep dive, I want to know from all of you guys, if you could introduce yourselves to our lovely crowd here. What is your role with Halloween Horror Nights? Mike, we'll start with you. We'll go down the road.
Sure. Hi everybody, my name is Mike Aiello, and I have the distinct honor of leading the charge on not only Halloween Horror Nights and our wonderful creative team, but all new product that goes into our Universal Orlando Resort from an entertainment standpoint. I just celebrated my 30th anniversary with the company. It's been an awesome journey, and I'm so happy to see so many people here today. When we said we were going to be at Megacon, I'm like, that's awesome. I'm like, will anyone come? And wow, you guys really showed up. This is amazing.
It's 10:30 a.m. by the way. Everyone here, Saturday morning. This is unbelievable. Thank you guys so much for having us.
This crowd is not an early crowd. Like, we're all night owls.
I'm Lora Sauls. Like Mike said, I get to work with the incredible Mike Aiello, but I also get to lead the incredible team that does all of our marquee events and productions, one of which is Halloween Horror Nights. We work on Halloween Horror Nights 365 days a year, and we love it. Me personally, I turned 30 at Universal this July. And I've had the honor of working on Halloween Horror Nights since 1998. I love every minute of it. And as some of you know, I started my career as a singing and dancing Bride of Frankenstein with this guy over here, Charles Gray, as a singing and dancing Frankenstein.
Hey, I'm Charles Gray. I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for getting out of your sarcophaguses to get here today. Very happy. I've actually worked, I think in April, I will have been at Universal for 34 years. I met Mike Aiello over a bucket of slime. That was fun at Nickelodeon. Yes, sang and danced with you. And one of my first gigs too was I worked on in the Boneyard Haunted House, which I think was HHN4, so I was a scarecrow too.
Amazing. We have some tenured Halloween Horror Nights talent here with you tonight. Mike, to start with you, Halloween Horror Nights began as a 3-night event, and now it's a multi-month extravaganza. When you look back on 3.5 decades, what are some of the creative risks or decisions that you and your team made that laid the groundwork to make it is what it is today?
Well, I think, again, looking back at 3.5 decades, and it's really strange saying that, I think for me, we're standing on the shoulders of foundation that existed before we started being the kind of creative forebearers of the content for the event. And I think going back in '91 with 3 nights and what it's grown into, I think those first 9 years of the event, what I took away, having been someone that went to the event with my father, and now I get to bring my son to the event now, which is wild. I think one of the things is about the creative risks in taking it seriously. Those first 9 years, that it wasn't just let's throw some pumpkins out there, let's just throw some lights, turn the lights off, add some fog. There was some really interesting creative foundations on how the event was constructed back in those early days that have maintained itself to this day. But again, evolving over time. I think it's also about the idea of leaning into original content. Even in those early years, the event was built on original content. And yes, IP has come into the realm, but maintaining that thread throughout the 35 years, in that we really care about the types of stories and the characters that we can meet and engage, interact with within the 35 years of this event.
Well, telling new stories every year, too. I think our initial creators of Halloween Horror Nights really set us up to make sure we're telling new original stories every year, that we're not just rehashing what we've done, but telling brand new original content stories every year, which is what makes Halloween Horror Nights, especially here in Orlando, so special, is that we get to tell new stories and have new creative ideas every year.
Yeah, Halloween Horror Nights, you guys are in good hands with these 3 here on the stage. Mike, specifically when it comes to the 35th anniversary, what makes this milestone especially special for you personally, but also the event as a whole?
For me personally, I think it would be the same for Lora and Charles. We've literally grown up with this event. Again, we've been with Universal so long, and even like I said beforehand, attending the event in its first years with my dad, being part of a legacy like this from being a fan, because I think that's where we all started from with this event, being fans of this event and really loving the idea of being able to walk into a space that's designed to scare the daylights out of me and walk out wanting to go back in and do it again. Like, all of us are a very special breed of people that just love that. Again, for me, I think what I love about the event is there's a sense of nostalgia for me anytime we're entering in the 35th anniversary, any level of anniversary. But nostalgia is amazing. It's integral to what we do. But you got to be careful with it. You can't just do nostalgia for nostalgia's sake. If we are looking to bring something back into the realm, we want to make sure, again, with an anniversary year, you do want to look at the past. It's reflective. But it's also, in my view, I think it's a recommitment to the things that we've done and how do we continually evolve how this event comes to life each and every year, and to make sure that we're delivering content that we as fans, you as fans, are going to love and see an evolution. And it's not about resting on laurels. I think that's the biggest thing to remember anytime we're doing any level of anniversary here.
It's also important to recognize that as people come in every year, this has been going on. So there's guests who have been here since the beginning, or they've been here 15 years, 10 years. There are new people engaging in these stories, and a lot of times they come in and hear about a past house or scares on them. Man, I wish I could have seen that. And then we get to reintroduce some of these stories and kind of touch on some of the characters that they wish they could have seen too. So the new people get to learn these stories too. It's very exciting.
Hey, you guys kind of touched on this next question there with that response, but I still want to ask it deliberately. When it comes to approaching, balancing those fresh ideas with nostalgia, especially in the milestone years, how do you approach that creatively?
It's a careful balance, because again, we do want to be able to deliver what everybody, especially anniversary, everybody kind of maybe expects us to do, but how do you kind of flip that? How do you turn that on its head and build towards something that feels like a warm blanket, but at the same time is something that you're going to be surprised by? I think, again, that sense of nostalgia is kind of it's a thread, but it definitely isn't something that we want to lean into completely, because we do want to make sure every year feels unique to the other years. And that is part of kind of the core history of the event. Is those first 9 years they set up, we're living by it now. We cannot repeat content. It's just something we don't do, and we have in the past to our detriment. It's happened, and it's something that we've learned. Our fans are rabid for the new, but also making sure that we're recognizing the things that they love, the things that we love.
We're also taking our past, which I believe you said, and making new stories out of things we've done in the past, right? So for those fans, like you mentioned, we're giving you what you want. We're giving you that warm blanket, but we're changing their story for the new fans to give them something new that they can gleam onto. Because we all know, once that bug has bit you with Halloween Horror Nights, you're going to come back year after year after year. Once you come to Halloween Horror Nights, once we have you for life.
Just out of curiosity, how many people have been coming to Halloween Horror Nights for more than 10 years? More than 15? More than 20? 25? 30? Wow. All 35? No. We got one? Over here, that's amazing.
You've been to the 37th event already. How was it?
Lora, you touched on this, and Mike, I want to toss this one to you. The storytelling specifically within Halloween Horror Nights, it's not just an attraction, like you guys are crafting stories with these characters, with the attractions, with the haunted houses. Can you talk to me about the evolution of your creative identity as a storyteller when it comes to Halloween Horror Nights?
Yeah, like Mike said, for the last, for 34 years, and 35 now, we have been crafting stories, and I think Mike mentioned this too. For the first 9 years, a lot of our key art was based in just an identity that would strike horror in your heart when you saw it. And then we evolved, and then our storytelling evolved with bringing icons into play, right? Yeah. In 2000, we really worked.
That's the original painting.
The original painting of Jack the Clown, iconic, right? In 2000, we wanted to change a little bit of our identity, and we really wanted to bring a voice to the event. We wanted to bring a voice that could talk about the event, to instill more fear in a verbal communication.
Well, we should let the slideshow play.
And you guys go crazy for each one of these icons. I love this. We should just say, okay, who's a caretaker fan? Who's a director fan? Do we have any Lady Luck fans out there? Okay, who is? Let's just give it up for the usher. Who is a Chance fan? And I'm saving our big ones. Who's a Jack the Clown fan? And who's a Dr. O? Dr. O! Yeah, our icons have really changed that storytelling piece to our event, and we've been able to link our icons to our haunted houses and tell those stories, tell those deeper stories, and create those backstories, and really give a voice to the event. And we've been doing that for now, 26 years of telling these iconic stories.
And we don't take this lightly, because I think any of these characters and these stories, this is a partnership. This is a 50-50 partnership between those of us who have the ability to create and those that want to know more and buy in. And that's all of you. Like these characters would not live and breathe if you all didn't love them and want them. Like that's the other amazing thing. This is ours. These characters are ours. And that is, I think, the really cool relationship that the event has with the fans of the event, is that these really do speak to the identity, not only of the characters themselves, but of the memories of experiencing the events these characters were a part of, with your family, with your friends, with those that you love, the things that go bump in the night.
I love that we create, and we've said this as a team, we create iconic characters. You all make them icons.
Laura, I feel like you answered all of my next questions.
Oh, sorry. I love to talk.
We got to talk about icons. People want to hear more about icons. If you could take me back to the origin, Laura, what inspired the creation of these icons?
Again, we wanted to bring a voice to the event, but we also wanted to bring a synergy to the event that it never really had before. I think, the first time we created Jack, we didn't know what we had in that iconic character.
Like, it was a survey.
It was, yes.
It was literally a survey.
Seeing what you guys, we all know people are scared of clowns, and so we knew if we created this creepy clown, everyone would love him, but we didn't know how much you would love him, right? You elevated Jack to the next level. I think one of my most fond memories of an icon is the caretaker. When we went to Islands of Adventure, yes, go. When we went to Islands of Adventure, we were really able to tell the whole story as we crafted the Scare Zone program and linking the icon to the Scare Zone program, which was something we didn't do in that very first year of having Jack the Clown as our icon. So it was really evolving those stories to really tell those stories in the entirety of the program of Halloween Horror Nights. Not just a haunted house, but in the scare zones. Because we all know, haunted houses are amazing, but all of you are going to walk through those scare zones all day long, and they need to also tell our story.
Yeah, storytelling is such a huge part of Halloween Horror Nights. It's a huge part of the icons themselves. So how have the creation of the icons influenced the storytelling? What comes first? Are you creating the stories or the icons?
It's gone both ways, right? It's really gone both ways. Sometimes there's a really great idea for a haunted house that we had really early on that has spawned an overall story. I believe one of the best stories we can tell about that is last year. Our El Artista, a Spanish. We had the idea for that house very early on. Ramon Paradoa and Dylan Kolak, yes, they crafted this really cool story, and I know when we were talking it through with Mike, and he was like, okay, there's something here for the overall event, right? Those gothic tones and textures could really take place in this overall arching story. So it happens both ways. Sometimes there's an icon that can tell our story, like when we had Caretaker or the director, that really crafted what that overall was. But then sometimes it's a haunted house that really spawns that overall story.
Yes, and I think for 35, it was the reverse, right?
Yeah.
It's about maybe
icons first, and it's the icons first, because again, anniversary year, we love to bring back icons, right? Those of you who've been with us long enough to know, we like to bring back an icon in an anniversary year.
You kind of teed up my next question there perfectly, Laura. It's an anniversary year, it's a milestone year. Can we expect to see any icons at Halloween Horror Nights 35?
I mean, do you want to see some icons? All right, Megacon. This morning.
It's still night for some of us.
It is 2 a.m. Yeah. This morning, we are going to bring to you Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Orlando's 35th year. We will bring the Ringmasters of Fear.
Something tells me this crowd is familiar with Jack and Oddfellow. But, for those unaware, for those who are unfamiliar with the backstory, Charles, could you tell us a little bit about Jack and Oddfellow?
I could talk for 3 hours, so I'm just going to get it.
You got 3 minutes.
3 minutes, okay. For those of you who don't know, there's been a lot of little stories here and there kind of peppered through our event as we've gone on for quite some time. But boiling it all down, we didn't see Oddfellow for some time. It was really, we were introduced to Jack, and then we found out that Jack and Oddfellow, this other character, were at odds with each other. And then we slowly also found out that there was, if you remember the different iterations of Jack, there was the Ringmaster Jack at one point, and he had taken this coat and this cane from Oddfellow. We still didn't know exactly who Oddfellow was. And in the story, find out that Oddfellow and Jack had a conflict early on, before Jack was even a clown. And he shoved him and sealed him inside a box. And then later on he came out of that box, Jack did, and he had stolen the coat. And then as the years went on, we were finally introduced to Oddfellow, and you all saw him. But this conflict has gone back and forth, more in legend than what we have presented.
And this year, bringing them together, this is not a partnership, right?
It's a relationship of convenience, I think.
Yeah. They aren't buddies, right? They are here because they know if they work together, they can engine more horror and put more fear into the hearts of all of you all.
The big question that was asked after we introduced Oddfellow was who would win in a battle, right? They're like, no, Oddfellow, no, Jack, and then went back and forth, and back and forth. Well, the reality is, there is a story where they are the same coin. They're both different sides of that coin as it kind of flips through the air. But it lands on the edge rather than falling one way or the other as they are combined, like you said.
And they're combined in two kind of really amazing words with control and chaos.
That'll come up later. Yes, so the overall thematic that we've created with these characters for 35 is, again, they are two sides of the same coin. They need each other. They're both different personalities, but when combined, they kind of fill out a single presence. And coming together, we thought it would be really fun, knowing that Oddfellow had his carnival, Jack had his carnival of carnage at certain times. If these two monolithic characters came together, what kind of event would they bring to the table? And the title of that event is the Infernal Carnival of Nightmares. For those maybe trying to write that down in your head, just look at each letter of the words.
Icon.
I feel like an audience member myself. I pieced that together in real time. That's great.
So, and we can't go too deep. We want to so much, but we can't. The overall thematic is going to be taking you within the Infernal Carnival of Nightmares, and it's within that new vision between Jack and Oddfellow where all of our content is going to reside this year. So it is going to not only pay respect and evolve some of the legacy that Halloween Horror Nights has had over its 3.5 decades, but like any good Horror Nights event, we're going to present all new levels of horror that will invade all aspects of our park in a way that makes it the 35th anniversary. There's so much I want to say. I'm so holding back.
I think there is one thing you can say right now. I think we can give them something right now.
You guys? Yeah.
Let's talk.
Sure, let's do it.
So, our merchandise partners, Charles, do you want to talk about our...
We already have a design that we wanted to share with you today. We're very excited about this. Let's take a look at it.
Oh, that's sick.
I wish I could have that now.
But you can.
Say what?
At the end of our presentation, you will have a QR code. This is merchandise that you can get today. You can. I know we'll be repping these tees as we walk around Megacon today. Our merchandise team did such an amazing job bringing Oddfellow and Jack together in this infernal carnival of nightmares on this amazing merchandise.
It's amazing. You guys are going to want to scan that QR code at the end of the presentation. Mike touched on it earlier. I want to go to Charles though to get your input on this. Oddfellow and Jack are not exactly friends, as you mentioned. There might be just a common denominator that brings them together. Could you kind of tease what gets them on the same page?
All right. Again, I could talk 3 hours about this, but I think I have 3 more minutes.
We're doing good.
We're doing good? Okay, we're doing good. What we want to do is tell this story, and it all began with Jack Schmidt. He was a murderer, an evil, conniving murderer that snuck off to a circus, and it was Oddfellow Circus where he hid. You know what? Instead of verbally saying all this stuff, would you all like to just maybe walk through it a little bit? Yeah, let's go. We're going to introduce our first house of the year. Jack and Oddfellow, chaos and control. We are going to walk through the very beginnings through Oddfellow's voice. Okay, Mike, you gotta keep me honest here because I'm just gonna and talk. Go for it. So, when you go through the haunted house, we are going to hear the narration of Oddfellow telling us the story, the origin story of Jack from his perspective. As Jack goes through this carnival on this killing spree, and of course, a lot of you know that history. It brought the police to that place, and then in desperation, Oddfellow had to seal him inside the box. Let's stop right there because there's a new little twist, something that we've discovered. We all know that Oddfellow can go from place to place, right? He's a time traveler, go to different dimensions. He's taken over many different places. And we kind of coined the term for that, the Oddverse. And he has these different portals that he goes through. Well, the box was one of those portals. And again, I don't think my words are enough. Let's show some artwork that we were working on here that kind of demonstrates the story as we go through. Jack gets sucked into the Oddverse, and Oddfellow goes into this dimensional world that he owns and tortures Jack. But Jack being full of chaos, the battle begins because the power shifts, and Jack kind of starts to understand the Oddverse and how to manipulate things. And as we go through the haunted house, we'll see this battle ensue, back and forth, one taking the power, the next step. Let's bring up the next one because this shows when Jack takes over here.
I love this Easter egg too. If you know, in 2000 we had a show called Jacked Up. That's the logo for that show.
A lot of little Easter eggs. In fact, I won't tell you where this takes place because that's giving away too much, but it's a place a lot of you know in our history. And within this Oddverse, anything can happen. Characters can shift and change. Locations could be like an amalgamation of different things as we go through. So Jack takes over, Oddfellow's taken over, it goes back and forth. And one of my favorite things is as Oddfellow's telling the narration, Jack, in the way he does, takes over the narration. He's like, let me tell my story, the way it goes, you know. So they go back and forth. So it's a little bit meta too as you go through. It's a lot of fun. Until the very end, when they make that choice, and you, the audience, are walking through these moments of this battle until they come together, chaos and control. And they have decided to take the power and soak it up and become even more powerful as they turn their focus on us, the guests. And that final moment, the final scene, is you will see them taking over the park, taking over this world, and really it is kind of the preface of you going back into the event and seeing how they've affected this entire world. You can tell I'm a little bit of a fan myself. I'm like, and then.
I did have a question about the storylines, but I feel like you touched on just about everything right there, and I don't want to reveal too much, but I'd love to get a teaser for if we can expect any evolution in Jack and Oddfellow's looks.
We always analyze that, and it is a big debate, like, should we change them? Should we present them as they've been seen? And there's been different iterations of Jack, but because they've gained so much power, because they have truly morphed in that level, they become titans, you will see a little bit of a tweak and change to the way they look also. Something I wish I could change.
Well, even in the house, like, Jack's getting messed up at this house. Oddfellow has a massive upper hand, because it's his world, he's able to manipulate it. There's versions of Jack that have been designed that we've never even seen before.
Yeah, in fact, we see him in his human form, Jack Schmidt, before he becomes the clown. So we're going to see this human form, we're going to see him become that initial iteration that we all know and love, and then the way he's tortured, ripped apart, manipulated. This is a bit of a violent house too, I'm telling you. So there's a lot of conflict there. We're displaying the power that they both have. Did I do good on time?
You're great, you're great. The one thing we did kind of bring from last year into the creative thinking of 35 was, we've got an overall thematic. Is there a level of story that we can tell within one of the haunted houses? So between the house and the overall event, you're getting the full story of, you enter the event, they're already working together, but how did that happen? The house is going to tell you that story. So you're really getting a full circle approach of the inner workings of what the storyline is for Halloween Horror Nights 35. It's very, very cool, very fun. Dylan Colliff is the designer.
Yeah, he's the designer. You guys know Dylan, he's just amazing.
And he's gone absolutely insane inside this house. It's wild, absolutely wild.
I'm going to give one more little, that skull that you saw in that drawing, it's going to be in the house, and it's huge.
You walking through the Cane of Souls skull as it's cracked.
And you will go through the box. I gotta stop talking. Okay, you'll go through the box, you go through the portal, you'll be in the Onverse. Okay, I'm done. I'm gonna get in trouble.
We got a couple months until August, we got a couple more months to wait for Halloween Horror Nights 35, but it sounds like it's gonna be unlike any year of HHN in its history. Mike, you look like you have something to add.
Well, I do want to say how thankful we are that everybody came to this today. We were really nervous about being 10:30 in the morning, and we're not that people. And you guys really showed up, and your enthusiasm and excitement about the icons and the content, we literally thrive off of it. We've said this in the past, and it remains to this day. You all, and anyone that's not in this room that loves this event, are the very first thing that we think about when we're coming out of a year thinking about the next year. It's using the event that's happening to learn from it, to understand what people love, to understand where we can be better, and apply that knowledge into the next year as we're creating. And I can't stress it enough how integral you all are in our world as we're creating. It really is the best relationship. Everything that goes with that. We absolutely love it, and we see everything. I'm telling you, we see everything everyone writes. So we really, really take it to heart. But again, back on HHN 35, it really is a culmination moment. We're bringing together two of the biggest icons that we've been able to have a creative process on, bringing them together for the very first time to present this infernal carnival of nightmares. And we're so excited to bring them together because as we've learned about this process, a fear divided is a fear deluded.
10:30 a.m.